Okay, so Tammy, you want to do the roll call, please?
Sure. Randy?
Here.
Lloyd?
Here.
Callie? Here. John?
Here.
Tamara? Present. Zach?
Here.
Michelle? Here.
All right, we have a quorum.
Okay.
First up is the reading correction, approval of minutes and phone polls as submitted.
I'll make a motion. Zach.
Zach makes a motion. Lloyd second. Any discussion?
All the question.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention. Motion passes by unanimous consent. Next up, we have the, here we go. The approval and or disapproval of the treasurer's report.
Lloyd, so moved.
Randy second.
Any discussion? Any discussion? Without any discussion, I'll call for the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any abstention? Any noes? Motion passes by unanimous consent. Now we'll go to the approval or disapproval of reports as submitted.
Callie, I will accept them.
Okay, we have a motion by Kelly, second by Zach. Any discussion?
Question?
All those in favor say aye.
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 Abstention? Motion passes by unanimous consent. Okay, on the program director reports, we don't have any directors on the call, do we?
No.
So I guess the reports as submitted covers the program director's reports. Would that be y'all's opinion?
Yes, and also subcommittee report.
So there are no subcommittee reports. Do we have any reports? Did we ever get a final accounting and stuff for the powwow?
From last year?
Yeah.
I think I gave you a report.
Okay. I think you did too. I just kind of popped in my mind. So
Okay.
I didn't put you on the spot.
Squirrel moment?
He just swallowed his ballpoint pen.
Point of order. Okay. We're now at new business. We have the community paramedic vehicle purchase, HRSA grant funded. So I don't know, I don't know, the way it's written, I don't know if it's a motion or I don't understand. Heather, could you explain that?
This is for a vehicle purchase from EMS for the community paramedics, and they submitted 3 vendor contracts. Their recommendation is for John Vance Fleet Service, and it's for a total amount of $41,732.
How was the funding? What's the funding mechanism for that vehicle?
It'd be the HRSA grant.
Excuse me, I don't know what first that is, Zach. I'm
It's
sorry.
the HRS. It's I can't remember what the acronyms stand for. We got $299,000 through a grant that we applied for the community paramedic, and this was one of the things that we had applied for in that grant was a vehicle for the community paramedic. So it's 100% grant funded through that grant.
Okay.
Only
So
question
does anybody want
I have,
to-
Mr. Chairman, is that 2 of the 3 bids were from the same person.
So with that, what we done was we called the fleet, like the state fleet service, through John Vance. We actually got 6 quotes, and I didn't include all of them in there because some of them were for like regular vehicles. The other ones were for the actual fleet service, which is like where the marshals get their vehicles. So it's a state contract where you get a better deal on the vehicles. And those were the ones we elected to put in there because they were actually service vehicles. And it was better pricing. That's why it is in there too from that fleet service. And then we had a comparable as far as like a Chevy, similar model Chevy to those.
Okay. Does anybody want to make a motion?
To approve the grant?
To approve the purchase.
The purchase, to approve the purchase, yes.
Okay, so for clarification, Zach,
Yes.
even if you went to a Vance Ford or any Ford in any Oklahoma, it would still come back from like a fleet facility for that price, is what you're saying.
To my knowledge, I believe their fleet service comes out, I think it's Guthrie is where their stuff comes from when you do it on the fleet deal. If you want me to do it in a phone poll, I can call and get bids from other places and send it back out with 3, put a Vance and then call and get some other fleet service bids from other places. Or I think they all go back to them though. I'm not 100% on that.
Guthrie's their main headquarters.
Yeah.
You indicated you had actually about 6 other bids.
Yeah, I think we had a total of, it was either 5 or 6 bids.
Does anybody want to make a motion? So would y'all prefer that he redoes it as a phone poll?
I would suggest add a third party to it just to make sure we're meeting our procurement policy.
Okay, so is that okay with everyone?
Yeah. So you might try
Yeah,
it.
I'll try that, Mike. I do what?
Do it as a phone
I
poll.
think
Do it
they
as a
want
Okay.
I think they want to do it as a phone poll, Zach, but they're preferring that you get 3 different institutions or companies to get the bids from, so it follows our purchasing policy. Is that right, Callie?
Yeah.
Perfect. I can do that. That is not a problem at all.
Okay, sounds good. All right. So next up, we have the community paramedic logos. I only see 1 logo. Were there other logos that were supposed to come with it? I mean, I just don't know.
I have no idea on that. I didn't know that was even going to be on there, so I don't know for sure.
I got this last minute from Miss Arnell, and she said logos, but she only sent me 1, so I just put it on there.
If you would like me to, I can get with Kyle on that one and resubmit that as a phone poll as well, if you'd like.
I think that would be helpful and give us some options because it says logos.
Okay, I'll get with him and see what he's got, and I didn't get a chance to speak with him before I come out here. He was out seeing patients, so.
Okay, that sounds good. All right, next up we have the cardiac monitor. The purchase of the HRS grant. Does anybody have a motion or want to talk about that? Looks like there's multiple bids.
No, that one's a sole source provider.
Yeah,
that's the only
okay.
place. Yeah, I've met with the guy out of Tulsa on that one. That is the only place that we can get a bid for Zoll. They manufacture those when you order them.
I will make a motion.
Yeah, and that one's also grant funded as well.
Oh, for the same grant.
Same grant.
This is Callie.
So
I'll make the motion. Cardiac.
I'll second.
Do we have a second?
I'll second. Michelle?
All right, Michelle, any discussion?
Question.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Abstention?
Zach.
Motion, Zach abstains, motion passes by majority. Next up, we have the Quapaw Counseling Service cardiac monitor purchase, grant funded.
It's another
It's
person.
a different grant.
It's another, okay, it's the same.
And then
Okay.
hers said it's different for,
Is that the thing or are they different?
No, it's a different grant. It's for the methadone clinic. Their cardiac monitor quit, and they want to go to the same monitors that we use as EMS. So I got them a grant or a quote as well for theirs.
I think that.
Same exact thing. Yep.
So moved, Lloyd.
Okay. We have a motion by Floyd. Do we have a second by Lloyd? Sorry.
Boy.
Lloyd. Yeah,
I
Floyd.
don't know
did.
where that came from. Yeah.
I
We
will
have a
second.
second.
Zach.
Second by Zach. Any discussion? Any discussion?
Question.
Call for the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstention? Motion passes by unanimous consent. Next up, we have the administration building and HR roof and gutter replacement. So Donna or someone, can you explain this? Because I saw just an email that came from you saying that someone thought we needed it. Would you explain what this is about?
From Dale.
From Dale?
From Dale, the email from Dale?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, this is for a new roof for the admin building and for the HR, and we've had it on the budget every year for the last 2 or 3 years, and we've just not done it, but we're getting to a point now where some of the shingles are blowing off, the guttering is coming loose and leaking in several places. We got the 3 bids from 3 different places that came out, measured everything, looked at it, and the one that is circled, or it says at the bottom,
The graph.
the graph, yeah, is the one that Dale and would like to go with to use.
Okay. What's the cost?
30.
I can bring it up for you.
It's about 30,700.
30,728.
Okay.
$30,718.54.
Okay. I didn't hear that because people were talking over each other. I'm sorry.
$30,718.54.
Okay. Does anybody want to make a motion to approve it?
So moved, Lloyd.
We have a motion to approve by Lloyd. Do we have a second?
Zach will second.
Okay. Any discussion? Any discussion? Without further discussion, I'll call for the question. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion passes by unanimous consent. All right. Now we have the Ferris 37 horsepower mower. That's not a very good explanation. There is some documentation. It's the needing a mid-sized mower with bagger. This was expected and budgeted. The facility's budget for FY 2020 is $14,761. It looks like they have 3 quotes, one from 5 Star Farm Ranch and Home, Midwest Equipment Sales, and Pitbull Motorsports. Does anybody want to make a motion to approve?
They just need a new.
They need something that's a little smaller than what they got for up around the elder housing.
To go around there.
And that's why they want the bagger unit, so that it cleans it all up and, looks A lot nicer.
I'll make the motion, Randy.
We have a motion by Randy. Do we have a second?
Zach
Do we
will
have a
second.
second?
Zach.
Zach has a second. Any discussion?
Question,
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstention? Motion passes by unanimous consent. All right, here we go. Next up, we have the resolution 06-2320. I think this would be A, yes. A resolution to approve the abbreviated Indian Housing Plan for 2020 CARES Act funding regarding Indian Housing Block Grant number 20B, V as in Victor, 4024740. Does anyone want to make a motion to approve the resolution?
It's for the housing department for their CARES meeting. They had to be able to get the money. They had to do an abbreviated Indian housing plan. To do with it, basically.
what do you intend to do?
They're going to use it to building houses because of the short span that they can do subs with it, so they can hire to pay for their subs to help the project
Catch their
move
schedule
along.
Does anybody want to make a motion to approve the resolution?
Move to adopt.
0623. Pardon me?
Move to adopt, Lloyd.
We have Lloyd's motion to adopt. Do we have a second?
Second. Michelle.
Is that Michelle? We have a second by Michelle. Any discussion? Any discussion?
Question.
Okay, question's been called for. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Uh-oh. I think we might have lost him.
Did we lose him?
I think so.
Hello?
Phone went out because there was a weather alert. Sorry. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion passes by unanimous consent. Next, we have a resolution 062320B approving the OLC FEMA shelter construction contract. Does anybody want to make the motion or approve it?
Did Terry send out the contract to anyone? I haven't seen it.
Yes, it was attached with the document. It's called the Crossland contract. It should be the last attachment in your email.
Probably just up today.
It's not on here on mine. Wait, here it is, Crossland contract.
Yeah,
It's a A1A document, which is a standard construction document.
Probably just getting it.
It's the one that we've used for all of our construction ones.
Yeah, that's a standard construction contract. And the resolution is just authorizing an agreement between the Quapaw Nation and Crossland Construction Company Incorporated for the design and construction of a safe room with a new O-Gah-Pah learning center. Does
I'll make a
anybody
motion.
want to? We have Zach make the motion to adopt the resolution. Do we have a second?
This is Callie. I will second.
We have a second by Callie. Any discussion? Any discussion? Without further discussion, I'll call for the question. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion passes by unanimous consent. That's the end of new business. We have old business. Does anybody know any old business?
Chairman, do you
I
mind
just
if I
have a
take this
quick
one?
question. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Do you mind?
Oh, wait,
was
we
there
just
something-
got another resolution. I've never seen, a resolution granting authority to the Quapaw Nation Business Committee to conduct an internal audit of all Quapaw Nation gaming operations. What is this from?
This is a motion that I would adopt based on the allegations that were brought up on deck. Yes.
I can't understand what was just said. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just got this just now. It wasn't even on the agenda. I think we're gonna have to hold off on it. I mean, we already do internal audit. We already do audits on everything. I don't understand.
This is for a third party for audit that we do yearly.
No, we do. We have you even have internal audits, so do we.
Yes, we do, but they're typically just like to do a forensic audit.
Well, because someone made allegations on the internet without any evidence, and
Well,
you're just presenting this today without having it on the agenda. I don't even think we could take action on it because it wasn't on the agenda.
Well, the other two resolutions we just did were not, and they were emailed today.
Yeah, but they were on the
I'm having
agenda
a hard
and
time.
submitted.
I'm having a hard time even hearing what anybody's saying. I'm looking at the resolution though, but I don't understand what was just said. I didn't hear it.
Well, I have a point of order that it wasn't on the agenda. The other resolutions are on the agenda.
On the agenda that I have, the other two resolutions, and they were emailed to today.
I'm just looking at the agenda I have in front of me. It doesn't have this resolution on the agenda.
You are correct. And neither were the other two.
The other two I'm looking at are on the agenda that I have. Resolution 062320A, Resolution 062320E.
I didn't get that till just,
So I think without any factual evidence, without it being on the agenda, I mean, I don't mind having audits done, but the process needs to be followed that we always follow, that it needs to be on the agenda. So
and I have a question. What is this based on? Something on Facebook or something that Larry Ramsey said? What is it based on? That's what it's based on. I missed all that. I didn't hear that part.
Yeah.
And yes, that's what the answer was?
Yes, these are based on what was mailed out. I think in order
there's
to
stuff mailed out all the time on all kinds of stuff that we don't do this to. So I take it as I'm very offended by what you guys have all had the opportunity to ask us questions and you haven't done it. And you've all been right there listening to everything and agreeing with everything we've done for the last 12 years, even before I was on there. And I feel like you guys have all failed by not stepping up and asking questions. And now because somebody goes and puts it on Facebook or mails it out, now you're going to get involved. You should have been involved a long time ago if you had concern.
And then you're saying that you want to suspend the authority and access right? What is
yes,
this?
This is how it was.
No, I'm going to call a point of order. I think we need to move on the agenda. Does anybody have a problem with that?
Well, John,
not on the.
I do, John, because it's not on the agenda I received. But I think that the business committee has a fiduciary responsibility to members of the nation to respond to accusations, whether they be true or false. I'm not saying they're true or false, John. I think we need to see whether they are.
But then it needs to be rewritten because it suspends my right, Tamara's right, as members of the business committee.
the allegations are against.
And it authorizes Cali to do this. And I think there needs to be just some discussion before we face a resolution suspending authority of 2 business committee members. I'm okay with doing audits, but the way this is written and the way it was delivered during the business committee meeting, I don't think is correct.
Well, technically, it can be presented first, but
I can't hear what you're saying.
I can't either.
I can't hear you, Callie.
okay, hold on just a second.
Well, John, can we hear your response to the accusations?
The accusations are not true. I didn't steal money. Some of the accusations even have to do with me taking money from the Bear, Good Eagle, and Quapaw. And I'm saying that it's not true. Any bonuses are awarded through proper process that they've always been. All our gaming entities have bonuses. This is a witch hunt because it suspends 2 business committee members, the chairman and the secretary treasurer, based on some letter that was sent out. I don't think this is correct. Now, I'm okay with discussing having audits and all that kind of stuff, but I think it needs to be based on fact, not on just some allegations that didn't present any fact.
And
it just seems kind of weird. I'm not done talking. I'm not finished speaking. I also think it's kind of strange that all this is happening right before the election. There was nothing ever said by Ramsey or anybody else prior to the election process that created this stuff. And I don't even know who wrote this. It just seems it's authorizing Cali to be over the audit. And I don't understand this. I don't think this is right. I don't think this is fair. And I think it being presented during the business committee as a resolution is wrong. And it doesn't include the gaming operations of Quapaw Casino either.
It does. It includes their account. Reading it down. This is how Quapaw Casino was handled 2 years ago when an investigation was done on it.
I can't understand what you're saying.
I'm reading it right now, John. Go ahead, Callie.
This is how Quapaw Casino was handled 2 years ago when there was an investigation done. Rights were suspended, stuff was switched over, and an investigation was done. That's all I'm asking for is the investigation be done, clear the error, be done with it, and move on. Hopefully we can get it done, and move on with business. But, we do owe this to the people to give them some answers.
This is
but
Tamara. Can I please speak for a moment?
Yes.
John, can I speak
Go
for
ahead.
just a minute, please? Okay. I do not understand, if you've had these questions, why no one has ever one time spoke up and asked anything. And why does it have to be this way, where you bring it up in a meeting where it's going to be recorded and everybody's going to have to hear it, and you have to bring it up like this when you've had a responsibility for the entire time you've been on there, on the business committee, to ask questions. And why does it have to be this way? Why can't you just come up and sit down and ask the questions? Why do you have to bring it like this? This looks like a witch hunt to me as well. And I don't appreciate anybody sitting there that is trying to do this to us.
Well,
I'm going to apologize if you take it this way.
Yeah, I'm on
John,
travel
that's the
right
way
now.
Quapaw Casino was written. And it's not saying that it will suspend it right now. It's saying that it could.
And
Well,
precedent has
call-
been set. That is how this has been written.
Well, I'm going to call a point of order. I don't believe this is the proper time for this. I think there needs to be further discussion, and I'm fine with that. But popping it on to me on a business committee when we're already in new business, throwing this resolution at us, I don't think is proper process.
I don't agree with you, John. This is the perfect time. We're doing our due diligence as a business committee to discuss this. This is something that you guys should have been already discussing and giving us answers for. Why should we have to come to you when I would think you'd want to clear your names? We're trying to help you
I
play
don't
your
know.
games, which I would think you would want. I'm not done. I would think you would want to do the same.
My name is clear. I haven't done anything wrong. There hasn't been any bad audits. There hasn't been any. This is just allegations without any evidence. That's the problem with it.
Right. Well, then let's prove them wrong and do an audit.
Well, then let's do it a different way than having it as this resolution that suspends the authority of the chairman and the secretary.
Did the Quapaw Casino have the option to do that? No, they did
when
not.
was that done?
2 years ago. The same way it was handled. You come in and stepped everybody out.
That was based on a TGA report with facts. There was also I don't think it's
allegations, John. We need to do our due diligence and approach it.
Okay, so I have.
Well, let's just take it to a vote.
I can make on people based on things I hear.
Because I'm calling a point of order and I'm not allowing it.
Of course you won't. Because, we have the authority to do that.
No, I have the authority to call a point of order since it wasn't on the agenda to not put it up for a vote, Michelle.
John, we gained 3 or 4 other resolutions today that I just saw as we were discussing them.
They were on the agenda.
They were on the agenda I got.
According to Robert's
Heather
rules,
sent us
it
like
just
3
has to
different
be
ones.
presented during the meeting. And it could be a motion, but it was a long drawn out
I have a
motion, therefore
question.
made it into a resolution.
Hey, this is Tamara. Since I'm a part of this, I have a question. What is it I'm being accused of is what I want to know right now. If you have an investigation, what are you going to be investigating? Because I want to know what you're accusing me of right now.
I'm not accusing you of anything. I want to clear the air with these accusations that were sent out in the letter.
Well, what am I being accused of then? Because I don't recall my name. I don't know what they said I've been doing.
The reason your name is being mentioned is because you're part of the DDA. It is just the DDA, which is also the same as the Saracen Development, because that's where the accusation's coming from. So both of them were listed, and that is what we want to look at. Just
so
to
what
clear
about
the
the
air.
other people in the past that have been on the DDA and Saracen Development? So those people are not.
Well, they currently do not have access rights. They don't have access rights. This is rights right now. We want to go in, we want to look at everything and clear the air. That is all this is.
I think this is improper, and I want to move on the agenda. I mean, Lloyd, you understand Tamara's and I's issue with it. Look, I don't have a problem with.
I understand, but I hope you understand our responsibilities as a member of the business committee is fiduciary responsibility.
I do agree with that, yes, sir.
And I do too, but I just also feel like you guys have all had that responsibility for a long time, not just since this letter. So since Larry Ramsey gets mad and goes out and tells all this garbage, now everybody's interested? I just find it very, very strange that.
Why wouldn't you want to prove him wrong?
Well, come on, let's go. Why does
because
every opportunity to ask?
He doesn't have any factual evidence. It's just him saying stuff. He even said that we stole money from the lawsuit.
I haven't heard that one, John.
It was in his letter. So again, I want to call point of order, and I'm willing to go back on another time, or even in open forum, and discuss how to do this. But I'm not going to call for a vote on this resolution.
Why not?
Because it's a point of order.
And I haven't even read it, so I don't feel comfortable voting on it. I don't know everybody else. Maybe you guys have seen it. I haven't seen it.
Well, we can sit here and wait for you to read it. It's not that long.
We've got plenty of time.
Okay, fine.
I'm reading it now.
This is Heather. Could you please send me that resolution, please?
See, we don't even have it to Heather. This is ridiculous. You should have brought this up before if you guys had this written.
It's only ridiculous because you're involved with it, John.
No, it would be ridiculous if we had something similar and we were accusing you guys of something.
if someone wrote a letter that said Michelle was doing something wrong, I wouldn't write a resolution and go after
I would
that.
expect you to do your due diligence, because I'm tired of people calling me and saying, when is anything going to ever be proven? I'm sick of it. And the only people that have that authority is the business committee.
Any questions? Why
I have no
you guys
doubt.
never one time asked about it?
I would think you'd want to.
We're wanting to ask about it now.
Yeah.
We're wanting to look into it
Why
now.
don't you just ask? I don't understand that. I'm sorry, if you don't see that this seems very suspicious, then I can't help that you don't understand that you don't see this. We're supposed to work as a business committee. We're all supposed to work together. And all you're doing right now is tearing us apart. And
No, let's work together and clear your name. That is all I'm asking for.
Okay, I'm going to call again a point of order, and I'm going to move on to the next agenda item, which, let me look it up. It's got me all rattled. I didn't expect this. I'm not trying to get out of anything. I just think this is a ridiculous way to run our businesses. I think if we need to have questions, if we need to have audits, if we need to discuss stuff, I'm fine with it, but not in the way that's being presented right now. When Quapaw Casino had an issue, we all talked about it. We had emails from the TGA that had factual information on it. It turned out to be wrong, but there were a lot of things that were fixed. So I want to go ahead and move to old business. We're in old business. Is there any other old business?
Well, John, would you let me respond to Tamara?
Sure.
She asked me why we didn't ask the question. That was my simple first question. What was your response to Larry Ramsey's letter?
My response to Larry Ramsey's letter is not true.
I've responded to Larry Ramsey's letter as well. And in public forums. None of you guys have ever asked me that. Nobody. And I don't even know if right now we should be talking about it for an open session, but none of you have ever asked me. Nobody.
Well, I don't know how you respond to him. I'm assuming Facebook, and I don't have Facebook, so I can't respond to you.
Okay, so your question's been answered, Lloyd. Is there any more old business? Okay. Is there any donation?
My answer is it didn't. My answer is it didn't happen.
What do you mean didn't happen?
Nope. You guys haven't asked me. You just now asked me. And do you want me to? Do you want me to tell? What? I don't know what I'm being accused of.
No,
exactly.
I don't. Well, I don't want. I just want John to tell me it didn't happen. That
it didn't happen.
It's just a rumor.
You were talking to me.
It's just rumors.
No, I was responding to Tamara's question through John.
Okay. So.
Okay, I got an answer.
I'm sorry.
We're moving to donations.
I get very upset when I don't take it lightly when I get accused of stuff. So I'm sorry for getting
I don't either.
bit.
I don't think this is right. Any donations? Are there any donations?
No, sir.
Is there any open forum?
So I would like to, yes, sir. I would like to discuss the resolution that was presented.
The resolution
I do as well.
is tabled until it's presented properly.
Don't you need to vote on the table?
No, you don't have to vote on table. Is there any other open forum?
Now, why would it matter if we voted?
Is there any more open forum?
You heard my question.
Because it's in Robert's rules.
Oh, I've got Robert's rules.
Next up is closed session. So do we dial in separately to Brian Bandy?
Yes, we will be hanging up. If you would like, we could do a closed session at the very end, where we can just wrap up the business meeting. Then we can call into call into the other conference line and take care of Brian Bandy.
First of all, this was just brought to our attention too just a couple hours ago. So why are we getting all this?
No. It's been several days. That's
I didn't
not
get anything
true.
from him several days ago. And if we're only going by Facebook,
You're
that's
not the
exactly-
chairman, and I got an email from Heather requesting closed session. They never include everybody on the request for closed session. Michelle, have you ever received closed session requests in the past?
Well, we should.
No,
'Cause you're not
because
going
they don't
on-
come to you because you're not the chairman or the secretary.
Right, but I have the same authority. We were all elected by the people, John. Let me remind you of that.
Not when it comes to the agenda, Michelle.
Shut up. I have to bring mine.
So, again, we're gonna go to closed session. All right, so Tamara, you want to report?
Yes, in closed session, we discussed an enrollment committee issue.
Okay. So with that, Lloyd, would you mind giving the benediction?
Sure will. Away and Tate Wakanda. Thank you for the meeting today. We hope you all come away feeling better, working in unity, getting correct information. And I ask you specifically to watch over my son and daughter-in-law. And thank you for the day. Amen.
Amen. All right, we're adjourned. Just before y'all get off, I would like to present a different resolution to address the issues of audit that would be less tainted in the way it was written for you all to consider. I have no problem with the audit. I have no problem with those things, but I think the way the audit was presented and written was disgraceful. But I think I get the idea that there's a necessary full transparency, and I'm willing to present or offer you all some other ideas for going through the audit process. I don't think that just having a couple business committee members do the audit would work. I'm more than happy to have an outside audit company that works with the business committee to audit the issues, and I'll try to put something together for you all to consider.
We'll look at it.
With that, our meeting is adjourned. So have a good day.
Charlie has left the conference.
Admin.
Thank you.
Has left.